it's live, pal.
Sorry.
We will ban you from the Summerfest.
Right here in the Silverdome.
Jeff Harvey.
And I have half the brain that you do.
Welcome to Wrestle Hunks Weekly. I'm Brody Price, and as always, I'm joined by the Undertaker to my Roman Reigns, Nathan Mark.
Oh, I'd like to think of as your Shane McMahon to your Drew McIntyre and Elias, but here we are.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre. I remember when I enjoyed his work. That was good.
That's true. Well, it's good to hear your angelic voice.
Yes, it's been an interesting week in wrestling, I think. So we've got some stuff to talk about. We'll go into Raw and SmackDown and the little news that you have, and a bit later on. But to start off, we obviously had Stomping Grounds. It was this past weekend. The sold-out Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington.
Was it sold out?
I mean, they sold out all the areas that weren't blocked off, so...
That's funny.
The first match we'll get into is the pre-show match. It was for the Cruiserweight Championship, a triple threat match between Drew Gulak, Akira Tozawa, and Tony Nese. Gulak pinned Akira Tozawa, and he is the new Cruiserweight Champion. What are your thoughts on the new champ and the kickoff match?
We just talked about it before. I haven't seen it yet, and it's the best match on the card, so I'm kind of spewing. I really need to go back and watch that. We both had Tony Nese to win this, didn't we? We just assumed this was like a filler for something.
Yeah, I thought Drew Gulak might win the title eventually. I just wasn't sure if it would be here or not. But
yeah, I mean, it just felt like I said that I felt like it was just Tozawa was going to get lost here. Maybe they continue Tony Nese and Gulak on just because the formula for 205 Live seems like the champion holds the title for a fair few months. But I mean, in speaking, he has held it for a couple months now. But by all accounts, this match is amazing, and just through GIFs, it looks pretty darn good too.
Yeah, it was. I woke up a bit late, so I missed this match, but I went back and watched it, and they did a great job, as you would expect. The crowd was into it, and Gulak with the big win, he's now the Cruiserweight Champion, so that's pretty cool, because he's come a long way. I thought he should have been the guy when Enzo left. I thought they would go with him, but they didn't, and he's been entertaining on 205 since however long that's been, a couple of years, so...
Yeah.
Awesome match between those three. We started off the main card with the Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch retained against Lacey Evans. What were your thoughts on this one?
Well, I didn't watch this on purpose. I actually went to turn the show on and I saw it was Becky and Lacey, so I went and had a shower. And then I saw some GIFs of Lacey Evans looking a little bit sloppy in the ring, and didn't seem like an amazing match. Don't know why they're continuing to progress with things, but we'll move on, I guess.
Yeah, it wasn't the best match of the card, but I had Lacey winning for some reason, but I don't know. They seem to be high on Lacey, but they don't want to give her the title, so I'm not sure what their plan is. But
yeah, kind of weird, yeah.
Becky's still the champ and continues her role since becoming the man, so good for her. But the match was average, but not the worst way to start off the show. The crowd obviously loves Becky.
It's true.
The next match was a tag team match. It didn't have anything on the line, but it was Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defeating the New Day's Xavier Woods and Big E. What did you think of this one?
This is better than half this card put together. Not gonna lie, this was an amazing tag team match, and this is what I call a Brody Price extraordinaire. This is a tag team showcase. This is what you want out of tag team matches in WWE that you don't get. You only get on the independent scene. And it really, really showed what can happen when you put time into a tag match.
Yeah, and this is just like a tag match that didn't have anything on the line, but it still had the crowd invested. Obviously, these two teams are pretty popular amongst fans. So yeah, it was good to see, and it was a very good match.
And it was good for Owen and Zayn to get the win. It in the scheme of things, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, Owen and Zayn desperately needed to get a win. Sami Zayn's just dropping owls like anything, and it kind of makes sense. Big E comes back from injury, a bit rusty. They pick up a loss. So I didn't like that on Raw. They didn't really get mentioned, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. It was they're kind of a bit of an afterthought, but Big E and Xavier Woods went on to do some like tag team title stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, you're right. It was a great match, but I think you're right. Like the New Day don't need the win. I think they stay strong regardless.
Yeah.
But I think it was definitely needed Owens and Zayn to win that one. I think just to
Yeah.
a little bit of momentum going forward. The United States Championship was on the line. Samoa Joe against Ricochet, and Ricochet comes out with the win and wins his first singles title in WWE. What were your thoughts on this moment and the match as a whole?
Well, very surprising moment, but match as a whole, for me, this is the best match on the card because I haven't watched the Cruiserweight title match. This was just an amazing match. It just showed. We talked about it. We said if you gave these two some time, it's going to be an amazing match. And yeah, Samoa Joe will win. Well, we didn't get that. We got a Samoa Joe loss, and very surprising. Ricochet picks up the win with the 630, and it was a very great match. I mean, I was I shouldn't have been surprised because of the way these two can work, but it did surprise me that they were given time for the United States Championship.
Yeah, it's not a surprise that they had a good match. It's a surprise that they got the opportunity to have a good match. I guess
That's exactly right. And it was really, really good moment. Ricochet winning the title. I mean, it's not like they said his first title. It's actually second.
Yeah.
He did win the North American title, WWE. Don't forget that. And then there was a really cute video of Casey Catanzaro, her reaction. That was pretty cute too.
Yeah.
No, it was a good all-round moment. I guess we'll get into the Samoa Joe thing later, which got some thoughts on.
I think that's one of my favorite things about Ricochet having these big moments is that I get to watch a video of Casey Catanzaro later in the week where she's crying and
Yeah, I know, it's so cute.
It's awesome stuff. But well deserved. Ricochet's incredible in the ring, and I saw someone liken him to like a Rob Van Dam when he came in 01, how he's just like great moveset, just like a cool guy. Like fans instantly gravitate towards him, and
I can get behind that.
like he doesn't need a lot of mic time. Maybe that's not his strong point, but people just gravitate to him. He's just an awesome wrestler.
Trevor doesn't need the mic.
Exactly. He's just over just naturally with the crowd. So
No, I actually agree with that.
awesome moment, and yeah, we didn't see it coming, but it was a nice little shock for us to see Ricochet win the belt.
Yeah.
Next, we had Daniel Bryan and Rowan retaining the SmackDown Tag Team titles against Heavy Machinery. What were your thoughts on the Does not picking up the win?
It's depressing, but I did have Bryan and Rowan to win this match, and I didn't like this match. I mean, a lot of people did, and I tried to like it, but I just didn't like that it was in Washington, and it was Daniel Bryan against the world in this match, and that's not really his character at the moment. It's we should hate him. But I guess Otis shined in this match. He had his pretty good comeback, and then obviously the fucking Caterpillar, but Daniel Bryan and Rowan pick up the win, and I don't know. I don't think this is the showing you'd kind of want for the SmackDown titles, since Daniel Bryan is talking about how he's going to elevate these championships. I didn't think this kind of match encapsulated that.
I agree with you. The Washington crowd, if this match had been anywhere else, I don't think it would have.
It would have been fine. It would have had a great Heavy Machinery reaction, and then it'd be, they lost. Like, there'd be a bit more reaction. It was more like kind of at the end of the match when Bryan and Rowan actually picked the win. It was like the crowd was kind of getting behind Heavy Machinery.
Yeah.
But it's being a hometown crowd, it just didn't work out that way.
I thought Tucker impressed a little bit.
Yeah, he did really well.
Just a couple moves he did, just showed off his athleticism for how big he is. Obviously, Otis is the star of the team, but it's really good that Tucker sort of showed a bit. We've sort of mentioned that it's like Otis and just some other guy in the tag team, but
it's true, yeah.
I don't know. We'll see where it goes from here, and hopefully Bryan and Rowan do get a chance to elevate these titles. But I thought the match was good, but like you said, the crowd didn't help. You wanted the crowd behind Heavy Machinery. It didn't work as Bryan is the babyface according to the crowd. So
yeah,
solid match, but next time don't do it in Washington. Bayley defeated Alexa Bliss to retain the SmackDown Women's title. What were your thoughts on this one?
I felt like the match just had nothing. It was just a bit of a nothing match. It felt like they had no chemistry somehow. I don't know how that's possible, but this match wasn't amazing, and maybe it's because I just kept saying stupid fucking wild card rule the whole time.
Yeah.
I was just I kind of expected Nikki Cross to get involved somehow. Look, it is what it is. But they went on to have Bailey lose on SmackDown. I just don't get the way they book the champion sometimes. This match wasn't amazing. Like, this was probably a point in the card where I was like, oh god. And we still got Roman and the cage match to come.
I thought, but just thinking back to some of the matches they had, I think it wasn't last year. I think it was the year before. Bailey and Alexa had matches for the Raw title, and they weren't great. But I thought this was better.
1 year ago, 2 years ago, exactly.
Yeah.
Bailey versus Alexa Bliss in Kendo Stick on a Pole match.
That's the one. Yeah, see? So that's what I'm thinking of. Those weren't great. I thought this was better, but it still wasn't great. I like, they're furthering that storyline with Alexa and Nikki Cross, but
yeah,
this isn't for me, unfortunately. Roman Reigns defeated Drew McIntyre. Any thoughts on this one?
This sucked. This sucked. Like, it's not even a case of like I'm hating on a Roman match. Like, I like Roman, but their WrestleMania match was a lot easier to sit through than this one. It just didn't work for me. And great, Drew McIntyre can't beat Roman, but Shane McMahon can. Okay, that's great. Yeah, that didn't do it for me, this match. I mean, what's to come on Raw did do it for me, but this match fell a little bit flat for me, and they left Bobby Lashley versus Strowman off this show for this match, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I probably would have rather see Bobby and Strowman.
I hate that this Shane McMahon stuff is making me get bored of Drew McIntyre, because I think he's great.
It's making me get bored of Elias.
Yeah. I think they just need to do away with Shane and let the guys wrestle. Like, it's not hard.
I saw someone say, though, this pay-per-view wasn't sold out because Shane McMahon wasn't wrestling on it. This is the only one.
I saw also someone saying that Seth Rollins and Will Ospreay keep talking shit to each other, but the real best in the world is Shane McMahon. So
that's exactly right.
Yeah, this match, you've sort of covered it. Wasn't great, and I assume the people in Tacoma didn't really want to sit through this, but sometimes you just get forced to watch Roman Reigns wrestle.
It's true.
The next match saw Kofi Kingston retain the WWE Championship inside a steel cage against Dolph Ziggler through just a leap of faith through the door. What were your thoughts on this?
I hated it.
Really?
I hated it. Fucking hated it. I had the same problem at Super Showdown. I said to you, it just feels like 2011 Intercontinental title match. It just does not do it for me. Oh yeah, I mean, the last 10 seconds of the match, I guess I was invested, but the whole match, I just couldn't get involved. This wasn't a cage match. This is just, they were like grappling and mat wrestling. There's no real use of the actual cage. I don't know. It didn't do anything. Like, what's the point of having a steel cage match? There was no brutality that we saw from Dolph over the lead up to the event, and with such an easy escape at the end.
For me, I thought it built as it went on. It was probably a slow start, but it got better. I've seen a lot of people think that this was right up there with Match of the Night. I don't think it was that good, but we sort of knew this was just a holdover feud for Kofi and Dolph until something else came along. And
I'm assuming the SmackDown matches is probably the last match we'll see from Dolph in a while.
Yeah, I think he'll probably head back to comedy or whatever he was doing. So I thought it wasn't too bad, but
and we're not talking about his matches.
That was pretty good. Yeah, so I thought it was okay. It built towards the end. I thought the finish was cool. It's not really something I think I've ever seen before. So yeah, solid match. But we'll move on to the main event, which saw Baron Corbin decide that Lacey Evans was going to be the special guest referee for their Universal title match. Lacey sort of was pretty much just trying to screw Seth Rollins out of the title, which led to Becky Lynch coming out, taking out Lacey, and then a referee took over. Seth got the win with the stomp to Corbin, and he retains the Universal title. What do you think of this one?
Well, first of all, Seth didn't defeat Baron Corbin. Becky defeated Baron Corbin. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't good at all. Lacey Evans was a surprise because I didn't actually think about that. Now, and then I saw a lot of people did predict this. So I was decently surprised, and I didn't hate it because it kind of made sense in the scheme of things. I just don't like where they're going with the mixed tag kind of thing. But Lacey Evans did the typical, my arms hurt. I can't count to 3. She probably should have done the rock thing. 1, 2. It doesn't matter if Lacey Evans counts to 3.
Did you like on commentary? Graves said that her arm hurt because Becky put her in the disarmer.
That makes sense. I like that.
Yeah, that was good.
That makes perfect sense. I just had it in my head that I just built it in my head that it was going to be Brock, and Brock was going to be on Corbin's side, and then Corbin does something, then he F5s him and lets Seth win, and then they have a stare down or some shit. I legit just thought that was just going to happen. But this was a decent surprise. It was kind of awkward, like when Seth and Becky were celebrating. I don't know if they're comfortable doing this. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But it's going to be interesting. I mean, Extreme Rules, I don't think they're putting the titles on the 2 people every fan hates the most.
Yeah, I'm with you. I thought the Lacey Evans pick to be referee was pretty smart. Like, it just makes sense storyline wise.
Yeah, you can't hit her with a chair.
Yeah, exactly. Just they actually use logic for that. I don't know. It was a cool little moment at the end for Becky and Seth, but I didn't really care for this match. No one. I think as soon as Lacey came out, you sort of knew that Becky would come out and Corbin wasn't going to win this match, so it was what it was, and nice little, it seems weird that we end a WWE pay-per-view with 2 baby faces just celebrating, it's all happy.
Yeah, that's true.
What did you think was match of the night for Stomping Grounds?
Well, for me, it's going to be Ricochet, Samoa Joe. I just thought, what a match. If you weren't a Ricochet fan, I think that definitely would make you a fan. And same with Joe. Joe really showed that after a week showing at the pay-per-view is not really his fault. It's more there was injuries and just time with Mysterio. And it's really just really showed that the 2 of them can do really good on the main roster. And I hope we're going to see Joe's getting a little bit of a mini push out of it for some reason, but
I thought, yeah, I'll agree with you. Ricochet and Joe was great. Owens and Zayn against the New Day was good. That title was good. I thought there was some solid wrestling on this show, which was nice change of pace. But if I had to lock one in, I'd probably go Joe and Ricochet. What were your thoughts on the show overall?
I mean, if you're going off the way I'm talking, you're going to think I'm saying, it's a very average show, but I think the good wrestling parts of it really elevated the show. Like, if I'm looking at the cut, like obviously on the screen right now, if I'm going from Bayley's match and down, like I'm like, that's shit. Like, but I think the Owen Zayn match and Ricochet Joe match are really just, I don't know, made me enjoy the pay-per-view a lot more than if those matches didn't happen. Yeah. And so I think this is an alright show. Like, you can go back and watch this and not be bored.
I think if you compare it to Super Showdown, like that Super Showdown had nothing really good except a part-time Triple H against Randy Orton. So
it's true, yeah.
At least we got some good wrestling in this, which was nice to see. I'd say middle of you would have guessed that this was going to be like, just on paper, this would have been like last year's Backlash or the year before. It was trash. But yeah, they had some really good matches, so that was a nice surprise. Let's get into the Raw and SmackDown recap.
God.
We'll start off with Raw. Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins versus Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin is set for Extreme Rules in a winner-takes-all mixed tag match for both the Raw Women's and Universal Championships. What are your thoughts on this?
Fuck this, man. I don't know. I'm not excited for it at all. Just, they're really going to shove Rollins down our throat. No, thank you. It's very obvious, like, they're not going to put the title both on Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin. Like, that's so stupid. Like, it's not believable at all. Like, we're not that dumb. Maybe if it was like, I don't know, if you change the rules and it like I don't know. You have to, one of the men has to pin each other and the women have to pin each other, some shit. I don't know. But this is going to do nothing for me.
This feels like, Extreme Rules is the last pay-per-view before SummerSlam. Like, they're just stretching both of these feuds so that they can get Becky and Seth to whatever they have for SummerSlam for both of them. So,
well, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I hope this is not the main event. I hope it's Undertaker and Roman.
I mean, it's very possible they do that.
That's how bad. Like, I don't want to see that match.
I mean, they love the Undertaker. It's very possible they put him in the main event. I mean, they put him in the main event with Goldberg. So,
yeah, true.
As you said, the Undertaker made a return to Raw. He made the save for Roman Reigns, who was getting beat down by Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. This will be a tag team match that takes place at Extreme Rules. What are your feelings about this?
How much better is it that Undertaker just surprise returns instead of they announce it? It's so much. It makes for such better TV.
Yeah, I don't know where they were. I think they were in Washington State or something like that. They lost their mind. Like they had no idea.
Exactly. No one expected this. We just assume he'll go away till next WrestleMania or next Saudi show or whatever it is, whatever it is, and that'll be it. But this was a nice shock, and this is a perfect way to have Undertaker. He can do fucking a minute's work of a match. And I was listening to a podcast saying they said they should just do this like the Ronda Rousey Stephanie, like the tag match at WrestleMania. Have just Shane just pull the Undertaker off the apron, just have that, and you can have Roman just get the beat the fuck up because there's fucking sympathy. Tagging Undertaker, 1, 2, 3, show ends. I think that would be the great way to end it.
I don't know. I don't know how true this is. Like, I don't have a source of who put this out there, but I read today that the Undertaker has picked Drew McIntyre as the guy that he would like to face at WrestleMania next year, if he can make it that far.
Wow.
What would be your thoughts if Taker and Drew had a WrestleMania match?
It would, in theory. I mean, I'm marking out. I don't think Undertaker can hang with Drew. Be real with that. But I did. Yeah, I have. There was a Sam Roberts podcast about Drew McIntyre, and Undertaker has helped Drew McIntyre's career more than anyone. He said because Undertaker told him he was playing wrestler, not being a wrestler, and he tributes everything to Undertaker. So that would be a good match. Be some two big hosses, and if that's true, Undertaker wanting Drew, I'd assume Drew probably goes over then.
I also think if Undertaker's going to have matches going forward, he needs to be in the ring with guys that can work and not Goldberg.
Yeah.
Guys that.
So the match is semi decent.
Yeah, you need someone to carry you through the match if you're Undertaker. So I think that makes sense if he does have another match. R-Truth defeated Drake Maverick to retain the 24/7 title. Later in the night, Heath Slater, Cedric Alexander, and EC3 all captured the title for brief moments before Truth regained the title with an assist from Carmella. What are your thoughts on the 24/7 title and the shenanigans going on?
This is the best book thing in the company. Oh my god, this is just the Miz TV. It kind of shit on the fucking belt. It was like, Miz was too good to go for the 24/7 title. Like he didn't want to go and pin Truth. But Drake Maverick coming out, all sad looking, gets a match and gets beaten in 16 seconds. It's that's hilarious. Little short skits. Then Heath Slater winning the belt, like that's pretty cool. Like he hasn't really done anything. Cedric winning the belt was weird. To be honest, it's like that's kind of weird. EC3 winning belt made sense because he's just been sad because he hasn't done anything. And you saw when he won the belt, he was so happy, and then he got pinned, and then he was depressed again, and it was just hilarious. And R-Truth, he's R-Truth 9 belts.
Yeah, I think he's had 9 reigns as champion.
That's so he's definitely going to break Raven's reigns of like 28 reigns. So this is going to be hilarious. But it's cool that like they've got a real like story behind it. It's like R-Truth and Drake Maverick, back and forth, and I like that.
I mean, if we just think back to when they introduced the title and how much people shit on it, the crowd reaction for when everyone's like pinning everyone and everyone's chasing around on Raw and SmackDown, everyone loves this. This is such...
Everyone went nuts when Heath Slater won it. Yeah. No one went nuts when Cedric won it. I'll be real. But EC3, even he got like a pretty decent pop for when he won it.
It's cool that people are getting invested in this. It's a great little part of Raw and SmackDown every week.
And they have a whole new merch line at WWE Shop of the 24/7 title. Yeah, it doesn't look amazing, but I kind of very tempted to buy a shirt. It'd be funny.
We saw also on Raw, Kofi Kingston defeated both Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. After his matches, he was attacked by Samoa Joe. This is set up a WWE Championship match at Extreme Rules between Joe and Kofi. What are your thoughts on this?
I have a lot of thoughts on this. This is stupid. All round stupid. Kofi defeats Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens after coming off a great win. So pretty much they're saying Kofi Kingston is better than Big E and Woods combined. And Samoa Joe just attacks Kofi Kingston, gets a match after losing last night, the US title, but he feels like he can get a main event slot now. And what else? Aleister Black on SmackDown does not get matches. He's asking people to challenge him, and Samoa Joe just gets a title match because he wants one.
Yeah, well, Aleister Black needs to start attacking people, to be honest.
So it's not really doing anything for me, but I know I'm going to enjoy this match at Extreme Rules.
I think so. Like, I agree with you with Owens and Zayn. Like, that made no sense. But I think Joe should win the title from Kofi.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like, I think
this reign has been pretty lackluster. Like, not really Kofi's fault.
Yeah.
But I mean, Joe winning it just puts so much heat on whoever beats Kofi now. Yeah. They get a lot of heat from it.
And I think, Kofi's moment was winning, not the reign.
Yeah, he's definitely a chaser, not a holder.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think this makes a lot of sense for Joe. I think SmackDown doesn't really have a lot of heels. Like, it seems like Raw has a lot more. Not that they're any good, like Corbin and Lashley and McIntyre. So I don't know. For me, I think Joe winning the title and moving to SmackDown would be a cool moment. He deserves a title run.
I see you haven't wanted to mention the tug of war.
Yeah, that's not in my notes.
Jeez, you're saying something. You're saying you're not excited for where this goes.
The best wrestling on the planet, WWE.
I mean, they had this definitely because the arm wrestling match they had has got a lot of views. I don't know why.
Did it really?
It's got a lot of views on YouTube. I don't know why. And this would be the same thing. Kind of hope this is all they do though. I kind of hope this like leads up to a SummerSlam match. Like, that's how much build they want. I want them to do crazy things.
Yeah, this is I don't know.
They're definitely gonna have a pose off.
Yeah, a truck flipping contest.
Oh, I'd love that. I don't know how we're supposed to buy Lashley winning when he snapped a rope or something in his promo. Yeah. And we've seen showmen flip trucks. So I don't really get that, but whatever.
That's more than I thought I was going to talk about those two. So there you go.
I thought it was funny.
There was no Firefly Funhouse this week, which is a little upsetting. But before commercial breaks, backstage would see the Firefly Funhouse characters. Who was there? Abby the Witch appeared behind The Miz as he was coming out to Miz TV. Mercy the Buzzard did the same thing. He appeared behind Kofi Kingston before his match. Then on SmackDown, Huskus the Pig Boy was spotted behind Daniel Bryan. And Rambling Rabbit was seen behind Carmella, Sonya Deville, and Mandy Rose during their backstage segment.
Slowly coming onto TV.
What are your thoughts on the characters sort of just appearing?
No, it's good. I like it. It's a bit of a bleeding in because we're going to get him very soon. I think stuff like this is going to continue up until Extreme Rules, and I think that's when he's going to attack Seth. I hope. Like, I can hope. I kind of like it, but because we're not that dumb. Like, if you leave him off TV, we're expecting him. So I'd rather than just slowly like have the characters around. Yeah. It's cool. I don't think you have it in your notes, do you? I just wanted to mention about Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. Right. Are they going for a lesbian angle?
Yeah, I saw someone tweet today. I don't know whether this has got into my newsfeed because of you, but
yeah, I liked it for sure.
It said WWE, I told you to have Sonya turn on Mandy, not turn Mandy on. And I thought,
oh, so yeah,
I don't know. That was.
I mean, it's Pride Month. I mean, surely they don't. This could only go bad.
Yeah, I don't know what they're planning there, but I don't know.
But it happened.
Give Sonya a run, please.
It's true. Let's get into the next thing.
Gallows and Anderson lost to the Viking Raiders, furthering their storyline with AJ Styles. They sort of were gloating again, two sweating each other before the match was over. We then saw AJ defeat Ricochet in the main event in a great match, non-title match in the main event. AJ forced Gallows and Anderson to leave ringside and go back to the locker room at the start of the match. What are your thoughts on this storyline and then the main event with AJ and Ricochet?
So to Gallo and Anderson, they lost last week to Revival.
The Usos, I think.
Usos. Okay, well that one I didn't like that match. But this week made a lot of sense. The Viking Raiders booked to be these fucking powerhouses. They were showboating. They lost the match. Then they were seen in the conga line with Noe Jose as well.
That was good.
I like where this is going. There's multiple ways they can go about this. There's going to be either obviously because AJ's defeated Ricochet, you're going to get AJ Ricochet maybe for the title. AJ wins the title. Maybe Gallows and Anderson finally win the tag titles. Well, they have won it before, but the winner, maybe the three of them hold the belts. Or they go the way of fantasy and this becomes a Bullet Club kind of storyline where perhaps Ricochet joins them. Yeah. And I haven't really seen that mentioned. I saw one person mention it. They could have like a Ricochet in the club kind of thing. Or just shove Finn Balor in there. But I don't know. I'm interested to see where this goes. Like, I'm actually really looking forward to these segments every week.
Yeah, it's good that even with them losing, it's not just them losing now. It's adding to the storyline. So these other teams, like the Raiders and
yeah, like the story is like they should be beating these teams because they're always on top. But it's because they're just being goofy. Like they're not taking it serious, like AJ wants them to.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm excited to see what they do.
Oh, and the AJ Ricochet match was amazing as well. I was like, for a Raw match, oh my god, right?
So, yeah, last week they had Seth versus Daniel Bryan, and now Ricochet versus AJ.
Yeah,
they're giving us pretty decent Raw main events. So
it's true.
All right, so over to SmackDown. New Day defeated Bryan and Rowan. This somehow led to an 8-man tag where the New Day and Heavy Machinery defeated Bryan, Rowan, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens. Any thoughts on this?
Fuck off. Fuck off with these 8-man tags.
I mean, I think if it's the New Day versus Daniel Bryan and Rowan for the titles, that'll be a good match. But
yeah, it'd be a good match. I just don't want to see these 8-man tags. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Elias defeated The Miz in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Any thoughts on your boy Elias?
Fuck the 2 out of 3 falls match. This didn't make sense. The stipulation was Miz won. He gets his hands on Shane McMahon. Didn't make any sense. Like, well, he's just gonna play. Shane McMahon's just gonna stand in the ring and he has to take kicks or something. I don't fucking know. Didn't and 2 out of 3 falls matches. I don't know. Just it's weird.
Very weird. Nikki Cross defeated Bayley, earning Alexa Bliss a rematch against Bayley at Extreme Rules for the SmackDown Women's title. Are you sort of over this?
How stupid Bayley loses to Nikki Cross?
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense, does it?
But this is going to lead to an Alexa Nikki Cross thing, so maybe that'll be good. I don't know.
And then hopefully Bayley can actually feud with the women on SmackDown that are not getting a chance.
Yeah, the actual women on SmackDown. Yeah.
Something that very much excited me. Finn Balor was interviewed backstage and sort of asked like who he has his sights on now with his Intercontinental title in hand, and Shinsuke Nakamura appeared, who we haven't seen for a while, and he sort of just pointed at the title, and man,
he too tweeted the title.
He did, didn't he? Yeah. So this is just
I don't like this.
Really?
It's a clear setup because they're going to Japan.
They're in Japan on like today or tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah.
I bet you they're gonna have a match.
Yeah, but have a match every week is what I want.
I don't like it. All reports are Shinsuke's like he's kind of like accepted he's done with WWE. That's the report.
Really?
Yeah. Have you seen that? There's been reports like he's not happy in his direction with WWE. So, I honestly think this is just for the Japan shows, and then like obviously you're gonna have to have a program on TV too with it.
As long as
matches should be amazing though. If they're not, I'll be very disappointed because I feel like Shinsuke on the main roster has not been used to his full potential, like wrestling wise. story wise, whatever, it is what it is. But not even wrestling wise, they haven't let him shine.
Yeah. No, it's if I just want to see this match at a pay per view or something. Like, give them time, and I don't know. I just love the idea of Nakamura versus Finn.
Yeah.
In the main event, Kofi defeated Dolph in a 2 out of 3 falls match. We had 2 in one show. That's if Dolph had won, he would have been added to the championship match at Extreme Rules, and it would have been a triple threat between Kofi and Joe and Ziggler. But Kofi gets the win, and a happy ending to SmackDown. What are your thoughts on this?
Kind of just accepted that Ziggler was going to be in this match, if I'm honest. Because the leaked Extreme Rules card 2 months ago was Dolph, Kofi, and Kevin Owens.
Right.
So so I just assumed this was going to be a short threat match, but no, they had Ziggler lose, and he's gone. He's gone off to the comedy club, and we're going to get Joe and Kofi. And I hate SmackDown 2 out of 3 falls.
Yeah, I don't understand why they're doing this. It's just a waste.
It's weird. It's so stupid. Like I get the commercial thing, I get it, but I don't think anyone was complaining about that formula.
No one cared, I don't think.
I don't know why they're changing after all these years. Like, I mean, I guess, yeah, we're used to, fucking suicide dive. We'll come back after Raw, and then the heels got them in a headlock after the break. I don't care. Like, nothing happens in the ad break.
Yeah, what's the difference between that and them, like, cutting a promo during the commercial break? It's not gonna...
Exactly. It's 2 out of 3 fall back. It's just weird. It's just, I don't know. I don't like it. I hope they do away with this very quickly.
But there was still, I'm pretty sure the Nikki Cross match had a commercial break in it as well. So there's, like, they're not cutting it out completely, which doesn't make sense. So
I think SmackDown's different because they do the lower. They put the match in the lower bit on US TV.
Yeah.
They have during the break you can actually watch it for SmackDown. I don't know why they don't have it for Raw.
But in the end, that's probably the last we'll see of Dolph for a little bit. He's probably off now. Good for him. He put Kofi over one more time before leaving. So
that's good. He came back, put Kofi over. Really.
Something we'll get to just before the news is that there's been a lot of talk between Seth Rollins and Will Ospreay over Twitter, which I found entertaining. We'll start off with WWE put out a tweet reminding everyone that Stomping Grounds was taking place this Sunday, which Seth responded, "Best pro wrestling on the planet, period." We then saw Cage Side Seats tweet out, "Remember when Seth Rollins said that WWE had the best pro wrestling in the world? #Stomping Grounds." To which Seth responded, "Sure do, dorks. And after that pay-per-view, I stand by it even more. The crew brought it tonight, from top to bottom, all-out effort from every person in the ring and out, and you're still talking/writing about it."
Because we're talking about how bad it was.
That too. He then tweeted out, "Doubling down, best pro wrestling on the planet. See that cruiserweight triple threat, and that's just one night, one match amongst the many. Find anyone alive who does what I do as well as I do it as often as I do it. You can't." So this tweet received a response from Will Ospreay. He simply tweeted, "I'm alive." To which Seth responded, "I'm sorry, little guy. We already have a better version of you here, and he just won his first US title tonight. In brackets, congrats at Ricochet. Keep working hard though, buddy." A fan tweeted at him saying that he needs to dial it down a notch, and Rollins replied, saying, "Nah, dog, let me dial it up. I've sat back and watched idiots with no clue talk poorly about the place I dedicate my life to every hour of every day. Level up a format on a constant is untouchable. Time to let them know." There's been other stuff since. I haven't wrote any notes down, but Ospreay and Seth are probably still going at it on Twitter. What are your thoughts on Seth defending WWE and Ospreay's involved?
Fair enough. Seth can defend WWE, but his response to Will Ospreay, I do not like at all. It kind of just belittled Ricochet. It was kind of stupid to say that to Will Ospreay because, Will Ospreay is 26 years old. I think everyone forgets that. And when Seth Rollins was 26, I saw a good tweet. He was in FCW losing to Jinder Mahal. That's when Seth was 26. So I thought that was a little bit weird. If we're talking as wrestlers, Will Ospreay is probably putting in day out better matches. I mean, like it's not. I mean, it's not really Seth's fault. He doesn't really always get the opportunity to do that.
And yeah,
But
he's not wrestling like awesome junior heavyweights. He's wrestling Baron Corbin. So
Baron Corbin, exactly right. Did you see that tweet with Baron Corbin? He's like, I've had the most Raw matches.
yeah,
And Ospreay said that's why Raw's bad.
yeah.
I thought that was funny. Then Ospreay kind of owned Seth by saying, I forget what he said, but then Seth had a stupid comeback, like my bank account's bigger.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. So like you just you've lost the Twitter war because you got to bring up a bank account. Okay.
The argument was about wrestling and
it's about wrestling. Yeah. But I see. I can see where both sides are coming from. I thought it was funny. Saw someone tweet out. I loved. I loved how you chased that girl out of Japan, and then she got signed by AEW, the same place where your girlfriend is. Yeah. It's very weird, but I don't know. What do you make of it?
I kind of like it. I think Seth. People talk a lot of shit about WWE, and if he feels passionately about the company and the direction they're going in, however he feels, he's entitled to express that. Which I appreciate because a lot of guys don't really say anything out on Twitter about people obviously tweet about how bad WWE is. So
I agree, but he probably shouldn't have responded to Will Ospreay.
Yeah, that's
because like rule number 1 is like don't acknowledge number 2.
Yeah, exactly. So that's I find it entertaining. I like that Ospreay did it. If I was Ospreay, I probably would have done the same thing.
Oh yeah, no, Ospreay did the right thing. Like, I mean, independent like New Japan, like they always consistently have better wrestling.
Yeah.
Like just because you fucking earn more money doesn't mean you're better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is funny. Like now, this is like people just want Rollins versus Ospreay.
Yeah, which for me, I would love to see because that would be a hell of a match. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have an issue with it. I think it's kind of funny because we get to see this sort of stuff on Twitter, and when do we ever get to see Ospreay and Seth Rollins interact? Because they're in completely different companies. So
that's exactly right. And it's what they say. Japan's not a vacation.
It's certainly not. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest Ospreay fan. Like,
nah, he's a fucking idiot.
Like his stuff outside of the ring, I don't really care for. But
calls himself a sex pig.
Yeah, like you can't really deny how good he is in the ring. So
yeah,
I don't know. I thought it was funny. I thought it was something that we should talk about because it's just something entertaining that's going on in wrestling this week. So I guess we'll get into Nat's news roundup.
Yeah, well, before we get into the news, how many predictions for the Stomping Grounds?
I'll grab it up here. I had 2 less than you.
I had 7. Ding, 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 ding.
I had 5. This was...
And mine were the title changes. What? I got wrong.
Oh, they were too, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I started off 0-4 to the show.
Oh, my God, you were. Oh, my God, I just realised, yeah.
Both had the Cruiserweight title retaining with Tony Nese, which I got wrong. I had Lacey winning, which I got wrong. I had the New Day winning, that was wrong. And then I had Joe winning, so I was wrong. But got the last 5 right, so sort of...
Did you wait, okay. So you had Daniel Bryan and Rowan, right?
Yeah.
I thought, for some reason, I thought you chose Heavy Machinery.
But that means that you're leading by 3, but...
So you're on 23 and I'm on 26, I'm assuming?
We have a pay-per-view every 2 weeks, so we've got a chance.
No, bro, we should do all the G1 matches.
Oh, my fucking God, can you imagine?
I'm not doing that. G1 starts like tomorrow, right?
Does it? I can't remember.
Starts one of these days. I mean, that's something for you to watch.
Yeah, if anyone's got any spare time, that's plenty of wrestling to watch.
I mean, it's going to be a lot of good matches.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So I'll just go into the news because I mean there's like 4 pieces, so you don't even have to listen to it. So AEW stars Cody and MJF will be appearing at an upcoming AAA taping. It was announced that the 2 will be teaming up to take on Brian Cage and Taurus at a television taping in Mexico on the July 18th, I think it is. There is a backstory as it was Taurus who attacked Cody when he made his debut for AAA back in April, cementing a relationship between AEW and AAA. While MJF and Cody have competed in Mexico in the past, this will be the first in-ring debut for AAA. So that's pretty cool. I don't know who Taurus is, but I know who Brian Cage is, and he's Brian fucking Cage.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
So he's a big unit. So New Japan has announced that the IWGP Tag Team belts, champions (GOD), will defend their belts against Juice Robinson and Mikey Nichols, the famous tag team. They'll face them in Melbourne for the titles. So it's the greatest title of all time, tag team of all time, and they will also be getting Al Fantasmo versus the Rev Pro British Cruiserweight Champion. Rocky Romero for that belt.
Wow.
So they're getting a lot of title matches, and everyone's complaining on Facebook now that they're literally doing nothing in Sydney.
Yeah.
Like, people actually are really angry.
That's a bit unlucky.
We've got a shit show, but I mean, I'm happy to go to it. I'm not going to complain. I'll be real, because the Philippes are wrestling there. That'd be pretty cool.
That is cool.
But we haven't really got a strong show, and the tickets are the same price as Melbourne's.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's not even close to selling out. Everyone's just waiting for the $35 tickets that Melbourne got.
Yeah.
So next up, for the third piece of news out of 4, Pro Wrestling Cheat has announced that Jinder Mahal signed a 5-year deal. That's the extent of my news this week.
Jesus.
So a 5-year deal is a fucking long time when you think about it. Like, what does it take him to 2024? So when you think about it like that, that's pretty good. And he's like 30, so good for him.
You don't want a former world champion hitting the free agent market. So.
That's exactly right, because he'd be dangerous in Japan. It's the last piece of news that I've really fucking clawed for. Zack Sabre Jr. retained his Rev Pro British Heavyweight Championship and his spot in this year's G1 Climax by defeating Yoshihashi in the main event of the Kazuna Roadshow. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. I didn't really know that was a thing that was happening. I feel like that should be a bit more of a deal, because he had like a championship and a G1 spot on the line.
Yeah.
But didn't hear about it. I had to look at the fine print because there is no news, and that's about it. I mean, quick YouTube roundup. You just got, up, down, down, but we've got some new Being the Elite. Episode 158, Control Room, Sheamus's Celtic Warrior Workouts. Episode 83, surprising one, Tommaso Ciampa. So that's pretty cool. We've got a lot of channels with no videos, and those would be Samoa Joe's channel, Lana and Rusev's, Chelsea Green, Elliot Sexton, and surprisingly, no Demandy's Donuts so far, so that'll probably be uploaded tomorrow. I chucked this one in, WPC. You should probably go watch Casey Catanzaro's reaction to Ricochet winning the title. It's pretty good, heartwarming. And lastly, we have Eric Bugenhagen's channel. He did a workout as Batman. So that's definitely something to go look for. So, I mean, it's my turn again, isn't it? Top 5.
That means it's time for this week's top 5.
3 ain't enough, man.
Alrighty, so I've gone for top 5 in the upcoming 2 Extreme Rules, the greatest mixed tag match we'll ever get. Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins versus Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin. I've done top 5 mixed tag matches. So we'll go number 5, the Hardy Boys and Lita versus Test and Albert and Trish Stratus at Fully Loaded 2000.
Oh, good call.
Number 4, we're going Oscar, which is The Miz and Asuka, versus Big E and Carmella from Season 1, Episode 2 of the Mitch Max Challenge. That's the one where they had the owl. They were holding the owl.
Oh, yeah.
Good. It's a pretty good match. Daniel Bryan and AJ Lee versus Miz and Eve. And this is important because Daniel Bryan proposes after the match.
Nice.
Yeah. Number 2. This is a pretty good wrestling match. This one. Rich Swann and Sasha Banks versus Alicia Fox and Noam Dar.
Yeah, good stuff.
Or Noam Dar.
Yeah.
Extreme Rules 2017. So that's a pretty good match. You kind of forget that actually happened. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But number 1, I've gone with Edge, Mick Foley, and Lita versus Tommy Dreamer, Terry Funk, and Beulah McGillicuddy at ECW One Night Stand in 2006. What a match that is.
Yeah, good stuff. That's a good call.
So that's the top 5 for this week. I thought put actually some real thought into this week because I think we've been slacking off a little bit.
A little bit, but that's all right.
Because next week, the top 5, I believe you said it was going to be top 5 of 24/7 champions.
Just gonna bring it back. We've had a couple of new champions over the past week, so I need to.
We have. If you really rate EC3 and Cedric,
add it in and reevaluate the top 5. So that was good stuff. Do you have anything you want to say before we head out of here?
Just wrestling, and I watched Toy Story 4. You should go watch that. That was good.
Yeah, good flick.
So yeah, it's really good, man. The new character Forky, he's trash. Jake me oat milk, mocker. My second money gun came,
It's gonna be lit.
but this one doesn't have Supreme on it. But in the photo it did, and the one that did have came with Supreme didn't have it in the photo. Kind of weird. So now for I mean, I guess we can talk about our trip to Sydney coming up. We said we were going to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, live on Twitter. We're gonna be moving out.
Are we gonna? What are we gonna do it on the way there, or are we gonna do it on the way back?
Probably the way there. I think
Yeah, way back. We're gonna be a little bit tired.
we're probably gonna be passed out in the car somewhere.
So it's gonna be interesting. It's interesting to see how the show is. Also, planning on going to some classic, iconic Sydney landmarks.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Tackle box.
I've got a few props ready. Got my cowboy hats, my red one, my brown one.
Yeah, so, I mean that's a good little shout. I mean the WWE, New Japan are holding shows in Melbourne and Sydney. The Melbourne one will be on Fight. I don't know if it's on New Japan World, but
I'm not sure, but it's for I know in America it's like 5 a.m. one of the times.
yeah. So if anyone wants to watch that, the show looks decent. Robbie Eagles versus Will Ospreay for the junior title.
Oh, mate, it's more than decent. It's a good show.
Yeah, well, I'm just a little bit jealous that we don't get to see it live, but it is.
Oh well. I mean, we get to watch 2 shows.
That's true. But yeah, I mean, a little shout out to our Twitter because I think we'll be on our Twitter live streaming our way up to Sydney and towards the show. So pod on Twitter.
Might accidentally pull into some landmarks. Expecting.
Exactly, we're gonna see all the good ones, the bridge and the other things and whatnot. So it'll be good. But yeah, if that's all we've got this week, then make sure you rate, subscribe, and share the podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, all other good podcast services. Like I said, we're on Twitter and Instagram at Wrestle Hunks Pod. Nathan's on Twitter and Instagram at Nathan Marlowe. I'm at Evil Brody Price. Is that all you've got this week, Nat? Any other little news you want to get to?
No, we're out of time. And Tony Schiavone. This is WCW Nitro.
Yeah, exactly. Until next week, stay hunky.